So get ready to put your math skills to work to solve this interesting little math word problem. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and read the problem. It is as follows. Tom can do a job in 4 hours. With Sam's help, it takes 2 and 2 ninths hours. How long will it take Sam to do this job alone? Okay, so that is the question. Feel free to use a calculator, but if you can figure this out, we'll go ahead and put your answer into the comment section. Then, of course, we'll walk through exactly how to solve this problem step by step. But before we get started, let me quickly introduce myself. My name is John, and I have been teaching middle and high school math for decades. And if you need help learning math, well, check out my math help program at tcmathacademy.com. You can find a link to that in the description below. And if this video helps you out, or if you just enjoy this content, make sure to like and subscribe, as that definitely helps me out. So Tom can do a job in 4 hours. Now with Sam's help, it takes 2 and 2 ninths hours. How long will it take Sam working alone? Okay, so first things first, we have a word problem. And in mathematics, anytime you have a problem, especially a word problem, you want to read this thing at least 3 times. Okay, although we understand what's going on, I've already read the problem a few times. If it's the first time you're looking at a problem, read it more than once before you start doing something. It gives your brain a chance to kind of kick in and really reflect on all the information. And then, of course, you need to really identify what the question is. In this case, we want to know how long it would take Sam to do this job working alone. So the situation is that Tom can do this job in 4 hours. We know how long it will take Tom working alone. And of course, we know how long it will take them working together, right? Sam and Tom, it'll take 2 and 2 ninths hours. But what if Sam works alone? This is the question, how long will it take Sam by himself? So this type of problem is something called a work problem. So let's go ahead and take a look at the formula that we need to understand in order to solve this work problem. Okay, so here it is, and you want to put this in your notes if you are a student. And basically, it is the following. So you want to look at the individual rates of work for each person. Now this, we're talking about Tom and Sam here, but we could be talking about machines. You could have like one machine can do this job at this rate, another machine does this the same job at a different rate. So what we're talking about is the rate of each individual person or machine when we're talking about doing work. So the way the formula is, it's 1 over one person's rate to do this job plus 1 over the other person's. Now again, these could be machines or individual people, but this is going to be equal to 1 over how long it takes them together. Okay, so this is the setup to solve this problem. Okay, so if you've never seen this formula before, and there's a couple different ways you can express it, this is a very easy type of formula to apply. You do need to know a little bit of algebra, but if you didn't know how to set this problem up, well, this is the setup. Okay, so now that we have 1 over Tom's rate of work, okay, how long it basically takes Tom to do this job, plus over how long it would take Sam to do this job is equal to 1 over the time it will take for them to do this job together. So what information do we have? Well, we know how long it will take Tom to do the job. Okay, we have that. And we also know how long it takes them doing the job together, right? So what we're looking for is this right here. We want to know how long it will take Sam to do this job alone. Okay, so let's go ahead and just take another look at this problem. So Tom can do the job in 4 hours, right? So that's going to be 1 over 4 in our formula. We don't know how long it will take Sam to do this job by himself. So this is going to be our unknown. That'll be 1 over x. You'll see this here in a second. But we do know that together, Tom and Sam can do this job in this time, 2 and 2 ninths hours. All right, so we want to go ahead and put all this information into this formula, and the setup will look like this. Okay, so again, it takes Tom 4 hours to do this job, so his rate is going to be 1 over, or this rate in this problem will be 1 over 4, okay? Plus 1 over Sam's rate, but we don't know what that is, so we're going to put an x right there because this is what we're looking for. over how much time it takes them to do this job together. We have that. That's 2 and 2/9 hours. And of course, all these units of measure here are in hours, right? This is hours, this is hours. So when we solve for x, we will answer how long it will take Sam to do this job alone in hours. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in all this information into this formula. So this would be 1 over 4 plus 1 over x is equal to 1 over 2 and 2/9. So it will look like this. Okay, now this is the setup, and if we can solve for x, we will basically answer the question. So we have a lovely rational equation here. Okay, so we're going to have to deal with this fraction and a few fractions over here. This is not that difficult, but if you couldn't set up the problem, maybe you want to go ahead and see if you can actually solve this equation. Of course, I'm going to get into it right now, and the first thing I'm going to do is clean up this mixed number fraction in this denominator. So let's go and do that right now. So we got 1 over 2 and 2/9. Well, this is a complex fraction. Anytime you have a fraction within a fraction, that's called a complex fraction. So let's go ahead and write this in a better way. So let's first figure out what 2 and 2/9 is. So we have 1 over 2 and 2/9. Again, this is a mixed number fraction. So let's change this into an improper fraction. So this is 9 times 2, which is 18. 18 plus 2 is 20. So this is 1 divided by 20 over 9. Now what we could do is kind of write this way. 1 divided by 20 over 9. So this is 1 divided by 20 over 9. So this is the same thing as this. And so 1 divided by 20 over 9, how do we divide fractions? Well, what you're going to do is turn this into a multiplication problem by flipping the fraction to the right of the division symbol. So we're going to have 1 times 9 over 20, and 1 times 9 over 20, of course, is 9 over 20. All right, so basically, the first thing we have to do here is clean this entire formula up, or this entire fraction up, so we can make solving this formula or equation very easy. So all of this now is equal to 9 over 20. So this is what we have. Okay, so we have 1 over 4, 1/4 plus 1 over x is equal to 9 over 20. So what do we want to do here? Well, there's a couple different ways we can approach this. What we want to do is solve for x. Okay, again, a couple of things that you could do is you could multiply the entire equation by the LCD. Okay, this would clear the fractions, or we could just go ahead and subtract 1/4 from both sides of the equation, so we can isolate this variable on the left-hand side. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and subtract 1/4. For this particular example, we'll subtract 1/4 from both sides of the equation. Now, if you're really good at algebra, you might say, hey, Mr. YouTube Math Man, I think it's better just to clear fractions. You could do that as well. The problem will work out the same. But what we're going to do here is get this on the left and get all of our numbers on the right, and then we'll end up with a nice, lovely proportion here in a second. Okay, so when we do this, we're going to have 1 over x is equal to 9 over 20 minus 1/4. So we can write that this way, 9 over 20 minus 1/4. Of course, we're going to have to do a little bit of fraction work, but this is our problem at this stage of the game. Okay, again, you could have multiplied everything by the LCD and you could still get the right answer. But let's go ahead and take the next step. We're almost there. So we got 1 over x is equal to 9 over 20 minus 1/4. Of course, we're going to have to do this next. Now, before we continue on, if you want to get better at math, you definitely can. But the key is to find a teacher that gives you clear and understandable instruction. So hopefully you like my teaching style, and if you do, if you're like, yes, I think I can learn from you, well then you will love my full main math courses. So you can find the links to all of these courses in the description, but they include basic math, pre-algebra, algebra 1, geometry, algebra 2, pre-calculus, and a ton of specialized test prep math courses. Okay, so again, don't give up if you're having a tough time in math. I can definitely help you out. So you can check out the links to all these courses in the description. So let's get back to the video. So we have 1 over x is equal to 9 over 20 minus 1/4. So again, we can't add or subtract fractions unless we have the lowest common denominator or the denominators are the same. So in this case, if we have a 20 here and we have a 4 here, well, this is very easy, right? So I can turn this 4 into a 20 by multiplying it by 5. But if I multiply the denominator by 5, I have to multiply the numerator by 5. Again, I'm going to assume that you understand fractions. If you don't understand any of this stuff, just reference those courses that are referred to in the description of this video for my full course instruction. But I have well over 2,500 videos on my YouTube channel on all topics, math, basic algebra, equations, fractions, etc. So you can check those things out as well. But what we're going to do here is multiply this denominator by 5 so we can have a 20. All right, so let's go ahead and see the next step here, which is we just change this 1/4, and now we have the fraction 5 over 20. And so we have the same denominator, so now we can just simply subtract the numerators, which is going to be 9 minus 5, right? So 9 minus 5 over 20. Okay, so here we have 9 over 20 minus 5 over 20. Again, we subtract the numerators, so that's going to be 9 minus 5, which of course is 4 over 20. And we can, of course, reduce that fraction down. And we need to do that because we're not done with this problem just yet. So we're trying to solve for x, but what we have here is 1 over x. So how can I solve for x? Well, there's a few different ways you can look at it, but the easiest way to think about this problem at this stage in the game is to treat this as a proportion, okay, which by definition is two equal fractions. So you can simply cross multiply. This is an example of something called the cross product. So 4 times x is 4x, and 1 times 20 is 20. So now I have 4x is equal to 20. So to solve for x, all I have to do is divide both sides of the equation by 4. Okay, so that gives me x is equal to 5. Okay, so what is x? Well, x is the time it's going to take Sam to do this job alone. So let's just kind of review here. So again, don't look at this work formula as like, hey, you're adding fractions. This is a formula that you need to remember to apply to solve work problems. And oftentimes it could be a little bit confusing, but if you did all the math right, you're going to get the right answer. Okay, so Tom could do this job in 4 hours. Together, Sam and Tom could do the job in 2 and 2 nights hours, and then we just solved for x, which was this rate of how long it will take Sam to do this job alone, which of course is 5 hours. Okay, so again, right, when it comes to algebra and word problems, for those of you that are students, there are the classic type of problems, very much like classic music, well, at least for my age, classic music was considered the 1960s type of music or 1970s. Nowadays, maybe it's music from the 1990s, who knows, right? But it's just that term classic, and it is classic. These type of problems have been around forever. So again, if you are taking, especially an algebra course, you definitely have to know how to do problems like this, which again are called work problems. But you need to know these other type of problems like rate, time, and distance problems, ratio, proportion problems, mixture problems, age problems, money problems. And if you learn how to do a good handful of those type of problems, you should be pretty well set to ace most of your exams in a basic algebra course. Okay, so hopefully this video was entertaining, or you just kind of got something else out of it. Maybe you're like, you know what, that was interesting. And if you miss learning math, by the way, check out my Math Skills Rebuilder course. I built that course for those of you that might be interested in kind of furbishing your math skills that you lost maybe some 40, 50 years ago. Okay, so with all that being said, I definitely wish you all the best in your math adventures. Thank you for your time and have a great day.